Well, the time has come. The quest for 10's in the Camaro is officially started. Now obviously I'm not going to do a 10-second pass all motor, so I needed a power adder. Now to start off on why, if you guys wonder why I'm going nitrous. One, we own a nitrous shop. I feel like it was the easiest and probably going to be the cheapest way that I was going to achieve that 10-second pass. So pretty much everything that I've bought is Nitrous Express, with the exception of a nitrous outlet bottle and the nitrous outlet standalone fuel system. Now for those that don't really know too much about the nitrous outlet standalone fuel system, basically what this standalone system does is it eliminates you having to get your fuel off of the fuel rail and use the existing fuel pump, while this, you can fill it up with your race gas and then go to the track, make your passes. The reason why I got this, because a lot of people don't run this because it is in fact really expensive. They do make an aluminum unit, however this is just the plastic one. Both of them come standard with a Aeromotive fuel pressure regulator, and they also come everyone with a Dishworks, Douchworks, however you want to call it, 2000 fuel pump. You can kind of see in there. And pretty much these standalones, you can put E85, C16, Q16, MS109, yada yada yada. And the good thing about having the standalone unit, if you're trying to build a bulletproof nitrous system, it is in fact the way to go. It's the safest route. The fuel delivery is a lot stronger and more powerful than if you were tapping off the fuel rail, and you unlock the ability to be able to run a higher octane fuel and a leaded fuel like C16, which is 116 octane. Because if I was just to go off the fuel rail, mix gas from my fuel tank, then I'd only be running MS109, which I believe is 101 octane, either 101 octane or 105. I'm not too sure. But yeah, that's VP's highest unleaded fuel. So pretty much the higher the octane, the more horsepower, and the less chance of detonation you have. So standalone unit, definitely ideal if you have the money to do it, because it is going to save you in the long run, and it's going to be a lot cleaner, a lot less messy. You're not going to dilute your gas and mix it with your 91 or anything. As soon as those solenoids click on, it's going to fire the fuel from the tank to the solenoid into your intake. The rest of my kit is installed on the car. I just have a few more things to install, but let's take some things out just to show you guys. This is my feed line. So pretty much this is going to go from my nitrous solenoid, and from my nitrous solenoid it's going to go all the way back through the trunk into the spare tire well right there, and that's where the bottle's going to be mounted. I try to go with everything Nitrous Express, however I did get a deal on the standalone unit from Nitrous Outlet, and plus they're the only ones that make a 4th gen F-body specific standalone unit. Nitrous Express only makes a bigger tank that goes in the trunk, where this one fits next to the fuse block inside the engine bay, which I'll show you shortly. I really need to start posting more updates on my car. I just get busy and kind of want to get things done, so usually skip steps. So a part of doing all this, if any of you guys know with nitrous, you do have to take timing out when you spray. Now, normally, you would have your tuner pull timing, but I don't want my car to be a slug on the motor. So what I did, I've just covered in a bag right now just because we've had like a crazy rainstorm the past couple of weeks, and haven't been able to wash my car, haven't been able to do anything, which sucks. But yeah, so yeah, I'll peel the bag back just so you guys can see. Good old trash bag, keeps the water out. They say this thing is pretty much waterproof, water resistant, but I still don't want to take a chance. So this is the Lingenfelter LNC-2000. It's a launch controller and a timing retard. Pretty much like this car, ideally what you want to do when you're spraying nitrous is pull the highest amount of degrees per your setup. Nitrous Express, Nitrous Outlet, they say to run, to pull 2 degrees of timing per 50 horsepower shot. So for instance, I'm actually going to be going on 150 shot, so that would leave me at 6 degrees of timing. Now, you don't necessarily need that much timing pulled. If you have a controller like this, it really helps. You set this at -6 degrees timing, and you run the car, you come back, you pull the spark plugs out, and you see how dark they are. Now, obviously that's going to be your mixture and how the motor's reacting to that amount of timing. So pretty much you're going to put in another set of spark plugs, pull, you know, and we'll add a degree, so you're going to be at 5 degrees, then 4, 3, and then you'll get that sweet spot. Because the more timing you pull, the less horsepower you have. So you want to get that worked out pretty good. That way you have an even amount of horsepower and timing where the car isn't going to hurt itself. So as far as activating my nitrous system goes, I'm going to go off of a progressive controller. As far as the Lingenfelter 2-step portion of this, I have a button which we mounted right here. As you can see, comes out from under there. And it's just a standard, well, I wouldn't call it standard, this fucking thing is like $80, push button. NOS makes it, and I'll actually demonstrate the 2-step here for you guys in a minute. But yeah. So yeah, so this Lingenfelter piece, it's pretty much just got 2 wire looms. They come off. This is how we routed them. As you can see here, it just piggybacks onto the existing coil pack, and it goes around, and it piggybacks onto that coil pack. So I'm still also kind of fiddling with how I want to mount my solenoids. That's the fuel solenoid mounted. I need to have a custom fuel line made to come from this solenoid, and it's gonna have, I need to put like a 90-degree AN fitting here, and then from there the line's gonna come out and go around, and this is where that standalone unit is going to sit, right in here. So here are the solenoids, the Nitrous Express, Nitrous Solenoid, and as well as my Purge solenoid. So this line's already ran. They're just going into a nozzle, which is going into the SLP smooth bellow. But now, as I showed you in the car, the feed line that goes from the bottle, it just is going to screw on here, and the line's going to come around, go up there. But as for a purge right now, what I'm going with is just a steel braided line, well, at 90 coming off of the purge solenoid, and a steel braided line coming up and around the head over the intake. And right here I'm gonna mount like a T, have the steel braided line going into the T, and have 2 hard lines coming out of these vents. So I'll have one here, so when I spray it's just gonna go outward. So after the custom purge line is made and the fuel line is made, I have to install the Nitrous Express switch panel, which I got, which literally goes right there. These are the switches that they supplied, with all the little tags like accessory, bottle warmer, nitrous, arming switch, and all these. So it came with all the switches that I need. Also, a fuel pressure safety switch. And basically what this does is if that standalone unit loses fuel pressure, it'll shut off the nitrous system so I don't blow the motor. So this is the Nitrous Express bottle heater that I got. It's another little thing that was a lot of money for what it is, 250 bucks, but you need this, or you'll be like, one of those guys out there with a fucking torch flaming up their bottle and burning their stickers off and whatnot. But yeah, it comes with everything, as you can see here. Here's the actual blanket itself. There you go. So that's the blanket. So yeah, pretty much everything's done. Just got to get those 2 lines made. Once those 2 lines are made, mount the switch panel, run all the wiring for everything, hook up the purge line, hook up the fuel line, and we're ready to spray.